Assalamu alaikum and good day, everybody. Welcome to the ICB podcast. Got with me our CEO, Mr. Ali Qadri, and two of my best buddies here, Mr. Azim and Mr. Suhaib Sheikh.
You're gonna make everybody else feel bad, man, when you call them your best buddies. I'm sure there are other ones who say the same thing about. Anyhow, let's go, keep going. Okay, so look, we're here for this podcast today because these young men came to me with an idea that ICB needs to have a podcast, and I agree with them. I think the future is theirs, and they have a lot of opinions which needs to be heard and which needs to be discussed. And this is their platform, your platform, to come and discuss some really interesting things at a very interesting and really high-flying institute, which is Islamic College of Brisbane. So that's what the purpose of the podcast is. But before we go into the further detail, I think it'd be fair to introduce people who are here properly and officially with the roles. So I'll start with my right. You go first.
So, Assalamu alaikum everybody, and good day. I'm Sayyid Azim. I'm a grade 12 ICB student, and I'm just happy that we're starting a podcast. I think it's a good way to expand and talk to our community, not just the Muslim community, but everybody else out there. We want to be an inclusive podcast and just make sure everybody's involved.
My name is Yunus Fikrith. I'm also year 12 ICB student. So I think Said came to me with the idea of a podcast, and I was totally down for it. And we'll just see where this goes. Hopefully we'll be flying up and high. All
right. My name is Ali Qadri. I am the CEO of Islamic College of Brisbane. We are the biggest and the best, 1,700 students, and growing really fast.
I'm Suhaib Sheikh. I'm going to be the editor, and I'm going to also start helping with the filming and recording from next episode. I'm also going to participate in those topics which I feel like I can contribute positively towards. And I'm definitely excited to be here because I've never had any opportunity like this before.
Okay. So all this magic editing you will see, it's this guy behind the scenes. But we've got a few more people behind the scenes. I've got one more very dedicated person from the Islamic College of Brisbane, his brother Zakaria. He's right behind the camera right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him to come in front of the camera. So brother Zakaria, please come and say hi to everybody.
No need to be shy, come on.
Yeah, that's it. So that's brother Zakaria. If you have ever had an event in ICB and it's run really well and you've had all your presentations in time and you've had all your videos well done, it's this guy. So, thank you, brother Zakaria.
Thank you.
Okay, so look, that's introductions out of the way. One person who's not here is the tall Turk, as I like to call him, brother Orhan. He's the IT person, my living, talking AI, who does a great job at ICB. Now, look, let's talk about the purpose of the podcast, right? And it's very important that we establish why we're doing this.
Yeah.
We briefly, you guys spoke about it, but Usaid, tell me, man.
So originally because we had a meeting first of all, right? And I basically I kind of said as a joke, and I was like, oh, let's just do a podcast, let's start it and see how it goes. And the whole time I was envisioning typically how it'd go with these other YouTubers, I guess you'd see, or podcasters. But, after putting some thought into it, I realized we got to have a purpose for our podcast. We can't just do blatantly talk about random stuff. So I think our podcast the purpose of it mainly at this point in time would be to just get some more recognition, work it out with ICB, see how we go. Talk about important topics, Islamic, non-Islamic as well, expanding everywhere, like I said before. And we just want to, preach out to the community and just do our best.
Yunus?
Yeah, I told you, I think it started off as a joke.
Yeah.
He came to me with the idea, but yeah, I've also watched podcasts, the Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan podcast, definitely.
Hey, we're not going to bring anything from outside here, especially nothing illegal, okay?
Yeah.
It's an educational institution. So, Joe Rogan, you can be inspired by him, but not everything he does. Anyhow.
Yeah, and there's so much knowledge out there. There's so much topics you can talk about, and I think as in our age, our views are different to maybe what you think.
You'll be surprised. I keep up with the modern times, man.
I think it's a great way to encourage to interact with others, and
No, it's definitely good. Not many people our age get the opportunity to have a podcast and do it. So as much as we talk and we say we're going to enjoy this, we want to try to do this. Big thanks to Ali for helping us and letting it happen. So
look, I think it's important to talk about important topics, right? And especially to understand and hear young people's point of view, because as the world is designed right now, people my age and older are in charge of institutions, and then we take actions for those institutions, which may or may not have an impact immediately, and it has impact in the future for sure. Now, when that future comes, we will not be here and you will be in charge. So you'll be facing consequences of our actions, right? And you see that everywhere. You see that with climate, you see that with economy, you see that with everything, where older people, and I'm not in that age group, so older people make decisions, but the younger people are left to pick up pieces. So this is an opportunity for younger people to have a say. And you know what, in this podcast, we'll be bringing people from outside as well to come in and discuss, and not just, you know, Muslim Australians. We'll bring everybody into this podcast, and if we can, you know, people who are international as well, to bring them here, hear their point of view. It's important to sort of broaden your horizons and not just be in a cocoon. So I think this is, in my opinion, would be something very interesting for people to watch and even participate. I guess, you know, it'd be great to have some participation. But let's hear from our man behind the scenes.
Yeah. I'm definitely very excited for this. This is such a unique opportunity, especially here at ICB, because I've never had such a rich cultural experience at any school as here, because I've been to schools in India, I've been to schools in the UAE, but this place, it just has its own.
And we're not paying you to say this, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's not paid. Good feedback. There's nothing underneath the table.
Yeah, I would diffuse anyway. You know.
No, that's great, man. That's great. Look, I think next thing is, you know, we want some participation in this, right? And I think you guys have done a great job. I got to commend you, and I can tell for sure they're not paying me anything to say this either. But I'm so proud of my students here at ICB for coming up with such a great idea and initiative, and also, you know, to actually make it happen. And what you can see behind the screen is also their brainchild, you know, that kind of come up with the backdrop, and with some support from our tech team, we are ready to go in a very short period of time. But obviously, am I right when I say that we're still open to ideas and we want to hear what people want us to be called and how they can participate?
Yeah, definitely. Especially on the fact that you said being open to ideas. I like how you accepted the idea of a podcast. Because, you know, typically when you hear about a school and extracurricular events and all that, typically you hear, oh, they're a athletic school, you know, they do sports, they do volleyball, basketball and whatnot. So it's great to see that, like, it's included, like, you've included some, like, cyber stuff, podcasts, other stuff besides just all this physical activity, you know. That's a good variety to bring as well.
Yunus, what do you think? When we bring people from outside, I mean, what ideas do we want to get from people? Do we want to know what we should call the podcast? And obviously, people can participate by watching it. People can participate by commenting it. And, you know, please subscribe, like what we're doing to keep up with us. And also, you know, that would be your opportunity to participate in something like this someday. You know, it'd be great for anybody who you are. I mean, you come here and talk to the young kids about, you know, the experiences. And I've got some politician friends who I'll ask them to come and be grilled by the future voters. I think that'd be good fun. So, you know, whoever you are, whatever you do, just tell us, how can you participate? Students from other schools, if you're watching it, you know, we'd love for you guys to come up and reach out to us and come and participate and talk to us, you know, and share topics. You don't have to talk about just the school. You can talk about anything else which you're passionate about. So I think, you know, do you want to expand on how do we do this?
I think in podcast, passion is number one, eh? Yeah. What you're passionate about, you talk about, and, you know, we're just passionate about talking, I guess. You can talk about anything almost. So. But yeah, we're open to any ideas, any suggestions, what topics you guys want to hear from us. We can, we're all for it.
And look, to give a glimpse of what we've just briefly discussed of what we're going to talk about. I mean, everybody's keen on Top G, so
One day.
that's what everybody's keen about. Did I do it right?
I think it's like
Is it like this?
Yeah, it's like this. Yeah.
I wonder how he's coping in jail. But I know some of you are big fans of Top G, so that could be a topic. That's something which I'm really keen to explore.
Stay tuned for that 100%.
Because we've had some behind the scenes discussion about Top G. Obviously, I have my opinions, and that we can say I disagree with a lot of young people on. But it's something which is very interesting, I guess, and timely, which we can discuss. Obviously, education as being impacted by technology a lot, and you've got this AI thing, which is scary. And I just took an opportunity to show off to the kids how up to date I am with my recording of the voice.
I feel old now.
Yeah, no, that AI was is on top. You know what I mean? Like the different apps, how it makes a video for you, subtitles just by adding it. All the other stuff as well. Even I think the Neuralink he told us about, the Elon Musk told about, that was a good one. Which is it's also a good reminder to because this is going to be going up on YouTube, Spotify as well. So I think it's a good reminder to put it in the comments some topics we can talk about, because we do have a few to talk about. Maybe AI, like we said, a little sneak peek of the Top G coming in. But let us know some topics we can 100% talk about. Feel free.
And look, I mean, there are some micro topics, some macro topics. People talk about some serious stuff sometimes. Like for example, economy, that has a big impact on people's lives. And you don't have to be an economist to talk about economy. I think one of the problems we have is we think that such an important topic has to be left with academics who are experts in it, whereas it affects all our lives. So I think it's important to sort of delve into those topics and have a conversation. And you know what? I mean, this is an opportunity for us to talk and learn. The great thing about communication is that that's the best way to learn, because then you know what you don't know and you don't know what you don't know. So when you talk about it, you can sort of get those things and get that information. So look, as Usaid said, we're keen on topics. We're really, really keen to make this happen, make this work. Inshallah, it will. And from my end, all I'll say in last words is stay tuned. It is quite exciting and interesting, and look forward to the episode 1.
Yeah. Well, as Joe Rogan removed his headphones, I think, when he finishes off the podcast.
Is that what he does?
Is that how we finish?
I think that's how he does it, right?
I think we should finish our water bottles.
Water bottles? What do you know water bottle?
We finished the
water bottles.
Okay, do it together. There you go. So this is the finish. It's a halal way of finishing. 3 sips, boys.